Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. So, let me share my screen and we'll continue from where we left yesterday. I hope my screen is visible to you all now. Okay. So, yeah, let's take a quick revision. So, yesterday we were doing our for loop, and there's one. I hope the concept of for loop is clear to you now. So, before we go to our next loop, which will be while loop, let's take one more example to understand it more well. All right. So this is iteration for just a simple iteration. What if we want to loop inside an array using for loop? Let us take an example. Like we have a variable now named languages. It will be array of languages. So what if we want to loop inside this array? So we'll write for let I equals to 0, the first index of an array, and till where we want less than equal to length of array, sorry, language dot length, and we need to increase the value, so I plus plus, and we are going to console this out. So console.log will use our backticks, we'll use $sign, then I plus 1 dot. But do we need language name of the language and whatever we have inside our array. So we'll write again dollar languages at whatever index of I they are on. So we'll write a backtick here again. So we got, so let us see what will be the output. So you can see here, this will be the output of our for loop. Now, so you know this way, but there is another way we can fetch these values. So, and this way is more cleaner and looks more professional. And if you are going to use it inside your interviews, it will be more impressive for an interviewer to see this way. So for then we'll declare a new variable lang of what is the name of array? Languages. Then we'll console.log lang, a new array. So what does it mean? Let a new constant named languages of what type of our array, then we can console them. You see, JavaScript, Python, we got our values, right? Any doubt till now? So let's move to next. So we have another type of loop, which will be while loop. So the main difference between while loop and for loop is that when we don't know how many times we need to loop through, right? It'll it will run as long as till our condition that we are writing is true. Then we'll use while loop. But we do need to make sure that our condition becomes eventually false. Then if we don't close our for while loop, then it will become an infinite loop and keep on running, and browser will eventually kill our tab. Our tab will be closed if such amount of data will be loaded on it. So let's see how we use the while loop. For example, I need to make a counter, right? So I'll make a new let countdown equals to 5. Then we'll initiate while countdown is greater than 0. Starting, what do we need to do? We'll do console.log countdown until it becomes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see here we are not inputting, including our 0 here. So it will run till 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll decrease the countdown value by 1 with each iteration so that we'll get our console.log. We'll say countdown is finished. So you can see here something happened. Wait, let me comment this out. It's not loading this. What happened? Okay, all right. We are writing it inside this. So we'll open this with live server. We'll click on inspect. We'll go on console, and then we can see we have the output 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and our countdown is completed. All right. What happened here? So let's move to the next topic. Next topic is functions inside JavaScript. So what do how we define a function? A function is nothing but a reusable block of code that we can write once, and then we can include that code inside our whole document again and again without writing it again. We can just define it once. So they are this is the most important concept when we are learning JavaScript on a larger scale. So because it is the most basic thing when we need to learn about DOM, events, APIs, everything else revolves around our functions. So how we declare a function inside a JavaScript file? Let me go here. Here. Function. So what is the format to initiate a function? So we'll write function, then let's make this name can be greet. So there is no restriction for the function name, so we can name it anything. What do you want? Whatever you want, just don't make it a keyword. But yeah, so let's take an example. We'll include a parameter named greet, and then we'll console.log it out using our backticks. We'll use brackets. Again, the format will be same, dollar, or we can say hello. Dollar, curly braces, name. We'll close those curly brace brackets. All right. So let how we this thing we did. This is called function declaration. How we will call that function? Let's name it. Okay. So you can see. So you can see here it's calling this function. So hello through whatever we write inside of parameters will be displayed there. So this thing is called parameter, and this is called the function keyword. Sorry, function name. So we can also use functions to do mathematical calculations, or for example, we'll write a new function called add. So add a and b. So it has multiple parameters, two parameters a and b, and we what we want to return from function we'll use return a plus b. So let's do one thing. We'll make a new variable named sum, and we'll use this function inside this. So let's take 1 or 2 and 3, and then we'll console.log add. Sorry, we'll use result. Oh, sorry, not result. It's sum. See, we get 5. Also, if we don't want to construct a new variable, then we can again just use um, console.log. We'll call it inside. So add 5 and 10. So if you see the value there, it will be displayed there 15. So there's another type of function. We call it arrow functions. When we'll be using JSX. JSX is extension we use to write twice JavaScript code, oh sorry, React code. So inside it, we mostly use arrow functions because it's more faster way and it's a modern shortened syntax to declare a function inside JavaScript. So let us take an example. We have a new variable. We'll just assign a new variable. Divide. We'll add. It's the same. The rule will be declare a variable, then name of the variable, then the parameters, then we'll use an arrow function, and then we'll just return a slash a divided by b, and we'll get our value. So let's call this console.log divide 10 and 2. We got 5 as the input. But what if we have a single return expression? There's another type of method to declare a function that is short arrow function. For example, we'll make a square. Then what we'll do, we'll just a single expression. We'll use again. We'll do install.log squares. So I got the value of 25. So when we use shorthand, we use it when we just have one expression to write. We don't have multiple parameters. Then we use, and whenever we are going to do React, we are going to see arrow using arrow functions again and again. So what if we want to use a function using arrays? So let's take an example. So let's write we have scores or marks to this. We want to find the average of marks from an array of numbers, an array of scores. So we write const get average from what? From a new type of parameter. We'll call it array. Then we'll write, let's take a sum called 0. We'll use a, so I told you we'll mostly gonna use this thing. So let's delete it. So yeah, so this format, the more modern format this is. So we'll call our for loop like this only. All right. Where const score of array sum sum what will sum do? Sum will increase itself with the array and scores will get stored inside the sum. Then what do we need to do here? We'll return sum with what was the expression for finding the average, the total sum divided by the total length of the array. So again, we're going to do length array dot length. So that's how we are going to find a number, average of a number from an array of digits. So console dot log get average from what is the name of our array? It's scores. So these names can be anything. You can change it to A, B, C, or anything. Whatever we are going to write here will define what will be the name of our given input. So let's see. The average came to 30. So can anybody tell me what is the difference between an argument and a parameter? I'm sorry, I don't know why yes, I closed it by mistake. Yeah, what I was telling, what is the difference between argument and a parameter, right? So you see here, whenever we are going to define a function, at that time, whatever we are going to write is called a parameter, and an argument is the actual value we pass down when we are calling the function. This is argument passed to function, and this is parameter passed to function. All right. So the next topic is DOM. Let me start it. DOM. So you're going to hear this term and again in React.js and all through your full stack journey and in interviews. So let us understand what is a DOM. Let me just do one thing. Where is our, where did we created? We created a portfolio here, right? So let's take an example. I'll open this portfolio. So what's a DOM? A DOM stands for Document Object Model. Let me write it down for you. DOM stands for Document Object Model. So whenever our browser, you can see whenever our browser loaded a website, it reads the file in a way of a tree structure. All right, maybe I have that extension. Let me see if I have developer tools, I guess. All right, so I don't have, but mm, so you can see here it, even if it's a type of graph, if we reverse, if we just change its direction from up to down, so you'll know that our DOM, the DOM is what a root will read our page structure as a tree structure, and whatever the objects are present inside our website. So I want you to think of this way, like our HTML is the blueprint, like a text file that we are describing in a way, like it's a blueprint where we are just describing our DOM, that this is what we are is there in the website, and this is the structure. And what DOM will do, DOM will build that structure according to what uh, is defined by the HTML in a way of tree. So when you change domain using, like when we change DOM using JavaScript, whenever we do any kind of function, or we do any kind of, we add any kind of behavior to something using JavaScript, so JavaScript will talk to the DOM, not directly to the HTML, like we are doing here, right? For example, we called a console.error, or we are taking a value, or we submit a button from JavaScript it will not call directly. It will not call directly to the HTML. First of all, it will go to DOM and it will instruct DOM that this thing is happening, and without reloading the page, like you can see here, right? There's an example in front of you all. Whenever I'm adding something to the JavaScript, I don't need to reload it again and again. It will be added. For example, like I'll add this. I'll Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll make it multiply, and I'll change this also. Okay, so I have declared the new function. I have now, without reloading our JavaScript page will know, browser will know, yeah, something has changed. And this is what is DOM. Without reloading the page, we are calling the browser, and this is how we in real life we can take an example like whenever we are using Instagram, right? And you posted something and someone commented below your post. So without reloading our page, we get a notification like that notification thing is separate, but without reloading, we know someone has commented. Our comment will be there without reloading. But where the reloading is happening inside the DOM, it won't uh, resonate with the structure of your current page that you have opened, right? So also this is how the YouTube increases or increases the count whenever we someone view a video. So you can see in the real time like someone is viewing, views are increasing without even you refreshing the page. So that's how the DOM manipulation, that the concept is called DOM manipulation. So now we will study about a new function inside the JavaScript, or we can say method, which is called query selector. So let's see, we'll use a new. It will give us the whole document here. You can see our whole HTML is now printed here. Whatever we are having inside our, and you see code is injected by the live server. So we just have a button, right? In the HTML also, we just have a button to click to this till this part. I'll add something. I'll add hello. Sorry, a new h1 tag. I'll say hello. You see, on the real time, it's now changed. I haven't reloaded it, and you can see this hello inside our body of document here. See, so how we will select the elements. So let's move to our JavaScript part, and then let's make a query selector here. We'll make a new. I declared a h1, right? So we'll declare a heading is equals to, the format is document. You write, we are fetching a document dot query selector h1. All right, we declared h1, right? And now how we'll extract it? Console dot log, and we declared here, right? We are giving it a heading. So let's move to page. You see, I haven't called anything, but our DOM know that, yeah, the heading which has been called is this. Let's see, do one more thing. Let's make another h1 tag, world. Hello world is there. First, the first element is gets printed only, but here if we see, both are here. So how we get an element by their IDs? So we have two h1 here, right? Only one gets reflected here, but how we can target their IDs? Let's do one thing. We'll copy our portfolio. We'll copy our portfolio here, and we'll paste it inside this HTML. Okay, so it's here. Let me connect our JavaScript file here. So last, before the body, I'll call script. I hope it's clear now. Okay. Maybe one thing I'll do before quiz app, before JavaScript. So you see, H1 is coming. Hi, my name is Dhruv. That is the first H1 from there. So let's target an element by the ID. So we have an element here, nav. Okay, let's target that. We create a new nav equals to document dot get element by ID, which will be the nav const log nav. It's giving null. Maybe I need to add navigation ID was to nav. So you see, navigation ID we mentioned. I forgot to add ID there. Now we have an ID for the nav, and all the elements in whatever we have inside the navigation will be extracted here. So that's how DOM works, and that's how our console works also. That's how we are getting these things, right? That's how, this is the way we are getting these elements here, because our DOM is working in the side by side and in the real time and fetching the information from inside our code. And you can see any kind of application, it works the same. And what if we want to fetch all of the paragraphs we have inside our portfolio? Let's do one thing. We'll create a new variable called all paragraphs. And we'll do same document from where do we want to fetch. Document, the format will remain same, all right. Document dot query selector. Now we don't want a single element, we want all the elements. So there's a query selector all what we want, paragraphs, all right. And console dot log all paragraphs. Let's see. Now we have it's giving node list. It's a list of paragraphs. So these all of the paragraphs inside our code will be fetched here. What we want to see, how many paragraphs? It's simple. We'll say console.log all paragraphs dot length. So we have total 11 paragraphs used. Any doubt till now? Do please let me know if you have any doubt in it sending DOM, because DOM is important. And anything, let's move to DOM manipulation then. So how we change the content inside our domain or DOM? That's the main thing. We learned about fetching the content, right? We learned how we fetch the content, but how we are going to change the things inside our DOM. Let me do one thing. So let me call our heading tag. Give it title. Const title equals to document dot get. Sorry, query selector. We need to fetch, right? Query selector select h1. So okay, we haven't consoled anything. We'll console it. Console.log title. Okay, the title is here, but it's coming along with our tags. This one is the h1 tag. But if we write text content here, we don't want anyone to know which tags we use, so we just need to write text content. Please do note it out that whenever we are calling inside our domain and we just want the content, so we will write text content. And how we can change the content, like I don't want this content to be seen as hi, my name is Dhruv Koda. I'll change it to console, or I'll call our title dot text content. The text content is this thing is equal to change using JavaScript. Let's see. Action was lost. Wait. So let's do it by using inner HTML. Why it did this? Let me log it out and check. Console.log. So yeah, you can see what we did. We took our title here, and then we changed our title to what? Changed using JavaScript. Now our title has been changed completely. Okay, so let's learn what is inner HTML now. So let's do one thing. We'll construct a new paragraph, and we'll use document dot query selector of what? Paragraphs, and we'll change the inner HTML inside the paragraphs. All right, and we'll write para dot inner HTML. See, let's do it using h1 only. We'll you call h1 only. HTML. I'll log it out. We'll write this has strong. And new tags also we can use in inner HTML means we can use HTML inside our old text. Let me call this out console log error. See, this has a bold text. So you see how we manipulated our data to call this function, and we can also change it to italics. Okay, em em here. I need to close it, right? Let's do it close. So you see, it's in italic now. Our text has been changed using inner HTML. So what we want to change its color now. But we want to change the color of this title. It's in black, right? Let's make this color to black. So do ask if you are confused here, because we are going to use it again when we are going to make our quiz app. All right. So let's change its style. Title dot whatever we are going to do. So to change its style, no title is there. Sorry, para is equals to para dot style. Let's change which property we want. We want color. All right. So color to red, and or we can say para dot style. We can change the font size equals to 100 pixels, or we can do para dot style with a background color. Background color to blue or yellow. Let's see. Now that's how we are manipulating our text. We can also change the class, but uh, but do let me know if this thing is, even if this thing is clear, please raise your hand if this is clear. If not, do ask me. If this is clear, please raise your hands. All right. All right, Kushdeep. So let's see. Let's move to our HTML. Let's see. Let's find a class here. Mm, let's do one thing. We will make a new inside below this. I'll make a new div with a class named box, and I'll add style as color background color to be red. I'll add width of 100 pixels and height of also 100 pixels. I hope this is visible now. It is now. Why it's not coming here? Below what I did about me, I did it inside. Okay, about me. Oh, so it's here. Okay. So let's change its class. We'll do one thing. We'll make a new const. We'll give it a name box. Name can be anything. Okay, so I'm just keeping the name as uh, the box only, the name of the class. So document dot query selector of what of our box. So box dot put the property to call out class is class list is to add a new class. We'll add a new class. We will this thing uh, it is used whenever we for example we are making a toggle button or we are making a back dark theme or light theme website. So we when we are switching on color we need to make few things active. We have to delete few things. So let's add a new class to it. We added a new class called add active. Okay, so if you see our code now here, let's inspect our elements. Let me target this element. So you can see the new class name active is here, right? We did nothing, we changed nothing inside our HTML code. Everything is manipulating by the JavaScript only. So see how fast this thing is. So let add code to remove this code. Let's remove this class. So box dot class list will use remove. We'll remove the class name active. So now the class is removed. So let's do one more thing. We'll toggle if this class is present, then remove, else add it. It means if now we can say the class is not present for now. So what this toggle is going to do, if it's there, then it will add, sorry, it will remove. If it's not there, then it will add. So box dot class list dot toggle, class name is active. So the class is here, right? For example, just we'll do this thing. If it's not there, if we remove this remove thing, so it is basically saying that yes, this class is here. So it's removed now because what we call if the class is present, then remove it. If it's not, then add it. So this is thing we done. So let's see true and false, or we can say boolean, or if this class exists or not. Box dot class list dot contains, if it contains which class active, then true or false. So it's not coming here, but let me do one thing. I'll do console.log there, then it will, you see, true that this class exists there. So the class list, this is the most professional way how we can manipulate the change things inside our JavaScript code. Instead, like this is a best practice when we are using instead of these things like again and again we are changing. So we can do one thing. We can make a class, and inside that class we will add styling. So for an instance, this we have a thing called, like I just told you, dark theme and light theme. So a dark theme will have a class called dark, and light theme will have a class called light. And if and both have their separate CSS, right? So each class is defined with their own CSS, and whenever we are going to make a toggle button, we won't do this. We won't be calling styling change and changing styling again and again. We'll just call their class if it's active. If it's dark, then use this styling. If it's not, then use this. And toggle is the same thing that is doing its work. And again, for the menus and all. So what if we want to make a new element here? We want to add a new element. So again, we'll instead of adding it inside the HTML, we can do it inside JavaScript. We'll make a new variable, new item is equal, let me camel casing, remember? So item document dot we do what we do want to make. We want to make a new element. So new we'll create a new element called p paragraph. And what do we want to add? We'll do one thing, we'll just call it out new item, and from there you can see how we add something inside our content. We use where is the text content, right? So we'll do one thing, we'll do dot text content. We'll change it to I am a new paragraph. Let's add some styling over it. Style, let's add color over it. Color equals to, we'll do hash 12121. Okay, we'll give this color. Okay, then we'll do document dot body append child. Like this, we can see what append child does. Append child method of a node interface adds a node to the end of the children's. Okay, so end of the children, end of the body, this thing will be added item. So let's see. Here you can see like the body, when the body at the end of the body after the footer, we have added a new paragraph here without changing something inside the HTML. I hope this is clear. Can you anybody tell me, like, text content did the same? Text content added something to the paragraph, or we also use inner HTML. So what is the main difference between the both two? Like the functioning is same. It's adding some content into the element, but there's a difference, major difference we use. All right, I'll answer it. So what text content is doing, text content only works for the plain text. We can't use, yeah, right. Text content only adds plain text, right? But in HTML can include HTML also, like we did with the, we added bold, we added italics, like so. It's it. Okay. So there's another thing after this. Our DOMs. Yeah, I was going to teach you in that advanced part, but yeah, we'll continue. So what we all have events. So whatever we have event, just a simple definition. Yeah, whatever is happening when something is happening in the browser is called an event. The user is clicking something, the user is typing, the page finishes loading, or a form is submitted. JavaScript can listen these events when they happen. JavaScript knows that these things are happening, and this is what we it makes our page interactive. Events are what we whatever we uh, whatever events are doing. This is making our page interactive. So to add an event to our page, we call a new method called you please note all these methods, right? So the method is called add event listener. Okay, this method is a way to listen to our events. All right. So let's do one thing. Let's make element. So the form how we write it element dot not this element will element dot okay this is the add event listener. The element will be the small element, not this element. Listener. Then event function. So this is the format how we'll write it down. Okay, first we will call the element which on which we need to add an event and the name of the event we want to add. So let's take an example. We added a const button and document dot. We'll select it outright first. What is selector button? Okay. Then we need to add a in event listener to the button. Okay. So function function that we will call inside the so element name, then add event listener. Event will be what we clicked on the button. We clicked on the button, click, and we'll call our function. Function. It's console.log and console.log button was clicked. Okay, so let's do this once. Yeah, this I written over here by mistake. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll this. Oh, let me do. I'll make a separate file for this. HTML. Yeah, and make a button here. Hello. Open its live server. Okay, hello is here. So I'll add the JavaScript here. Let me add it inside the body only. I won't. Okay, I'll add it here to show you how this thing is working. So already I added it here. Okay. So you see whenever we inspect this element, and I'll click on it. Okay, unexpected. Something is not right here. Mhm. So see, the button is clicked. It is giving us this 7, 8, 9 number is increased. So that's how we call an event, how we change an event inside the document using add event listener. So add event listener actually takes two type of arguments. But first is the event string. So what is the event string? Sorry, event type. So what is event type as a string? So if we click on it, if we are submitting on it, if we are entering, inputting or mouse over, even if we mouse over it, let's see when we mouse over, or it's small o, I guess. See, button was clicked. How many times I hover over it, it will be changed. So this is the event type, and then we make a function of it. The function, whichever we are calling, what will happen if we do the event, that will be in handled by the browser by saying that they run this code when the button will be clicked. All right. So there's another type which we call it. Why is this here? So let's do one thing. The name is event object. I've seen some. If you have read the code for React, you have been seeing that or event, which was written inside the functions. So that's it. That is the event object. That is, we call it automatic object also. So get or add event listener. We'll write click. Okay. So click. Then we write function, and we don't want any name. An event. First type of event. The full event object is console.log and event.target. Okay, and then see. So whatever we targeting, we know what the object we are targeting is button, right? So which element the event is happening, the browser is automatically doing that thing for us. Just one more thing we'll do. Uh, we'll do console.log event dot target dot text content. So if we don't want that, we need the name of the tag there. So then we can use this. The button was clicked. Hello, hello, hello. Whatever we have inside that button, right? Hello. This was me. I wrote this my mouse over thing. You see, hello, this was me. Hello, this was me. And how this is working. So event target is actually what is an element the event happened on, right? So we know that this is the element where the event is happening, or which event we want to interact with. So there is another type of event called input events. We'll do it here only. We have input here, right? So let's do one thing. Const input document dot, and we'll firstly fetch that, right? Query selector input. All right. It will be fired every time any input is selected, okay, or the value changes inside the input. So input dot add event listener. The format will remain the same. We'll add the event object or whatever event we want to call, event type. Then we'll give it function. Inside function, don't want a name of the function. We just want an event object here. So event, and we'll do console.log current. Let's write the values change, right? So what is the current value? And then we'll do event. You know that event is there, right? Event object will be calling event object, event dot target, the value of the target. So let's see. We are on our portfolio. We are on a portfolio here. We'll do one thing. We'll do like a name. Event handle property should be callable. But it comes after that. All right. Oh yeah, we haven't used prevent default right till now. So we don't want this to happen. I'll add write full code for this. Let me decrease my screen size. Let me check it again if it's working here again. Is this happening now? All this. This two we don't want. We want multiply. Let's disable this two. Let me disable this also. Buttons also. Yeah. So I hope it will do its work now. But I must keep this coming. Okay, let me write the full code now. Some will also target the submit event. Okay. Target dot value. Submit the form then. Const form equals to document dot query selector form dot event, then name of the event listener. We'll use submit. Event is submit. We'll add a function to it with an event object. Then we will this will stop the browser from its wherever we are having event dot prevent default error we were having. This will be removed there and create console.log form is submitted. So whenever we're working on forms, right, whenever we are manipulating forms, prevent even default is crucial, because by default, whenever a form is submitted, the browser refreshes and reloads the page. All right, whenever we are writing or something, it uh, you can check it out also. Whenever you submit a form, our browser reload. So it sends the form data and then it's reload. But in JavaScript, we need to handle our data ourselves, right? So what prevent default does, it stops the reloading so that we can process data within JavaScript only. So you will need to write prevent default event whenever we are going, whenever whichever submit form you are going to build. It's mandatory. Like, I recommend that you get and hands on, like you should use it every time. So let me enter my details. So I'll enter my mail. I'll enter my project. This is your testing message. Hi, I, uh, I am a tester. All right. So then we will submit this form. See, the form is submitted and the page is not reloaded. Let me remove it now. Let me do it again. Okay, gmail.com. Now, the STD response failure method is not allowed. So yeah, see, even default is crucial for what's happening. Yeah. Mm, mm, Something crashed, I guess. Okay, the hashtag was working. So there, uh, we need to build our project also. So let me tell you what are other types of functions we have. You can note it down, or you can see the documents. For example, we have one click, right? We have click. We have double click also. Double click. We have mouse over. We already do. Mouse out is there whenever we took the mouse and we hover out of the element. Then we have key down, or we have when the page is gets loaded, we have load. So yeah, let's take 2 minutes break. Till then, I'll create a folder structure. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Uh, I hope you know how quiz app works, right? We have given multiple quizzes. And how we input things, or whatever we do inside that. We close, or of these, cross these all also. Oh yeah, I'll close everything. We'll do one thing. I'll make a new folder called quiz app project. Right. So I'll start this with the one by one. All right. So after applying HTML and CSS, then we'll see how JavaScript will be added to that project. You can do it side by side, or you can. I'll share this files code also with you. So let me add HTML to it. So we'll call the file name index.html. All right. Boilerplate will be here, and we'll name it JavaScript quiz app. All right. Okay. So, but for initially, what we have inside our uh, quiz app is we have a front page which will favor that starting screen, right? That we are going to start our quiz. Then we go to each question one by one, and in the end we have our result screen. So the total number of screens will be one, two, three. First one will be opening screen, then will be question screen, and the question screen will remain same, but the content inside will change through JavaScript. All right. So we'll keep it as a one screen only, not 10 or 20 screens, and we'll make it as interactive as it can be, so that you can also upload it in your GitHubs. And uh, I do want you to make this project and upload it on LinkedIn. Do tag me on LinkedIn also, like I can see. And posting on LinkedIn will improve your visibility. And also, it's important that you engage on LinkedIn from your college years only, so that when you will reach to or your professional level, you have enough connections to build your career. So the connections are very important. You need people in your connection. You should have HRs, you should have head of departments, you have CEOs added, so that they can see your progress, and they'll know that this person is there and we can hire this person. So yeah, do upload this on LinkedIn. So let's start with the quiz app. So I'll start by making the first screen. I'll add comments so that you'll know what we're going to do. Screen one. Screen one will be our starting screen. Okay. So let's make a div with the class name screen, and we'll give it an ID called start screen. And the structure will be, we need a card, right? We need a card where all the information will be processed. We'll take a card, we'll make a new div called class, and inside we will add a HTML and heading h1. So h1, I've recommended that at least use one h1. So the name will be JavaScript quiz. You can name it anything. You can even the name of any GK questions, anything that is related to you, anything you want to do. So JavaScript, I name it JavaScript quiz, and we'll do test your JavaScript knowledge. One thing, I'll add an email also. Let's download JavaScript logo. I'll add this logo there. Save it inside. Okay, I'll copy it afterwards. Um, JavaScript logo. Let me add my files. Download is here. I'll make a copy of it. I'll make documents. Where did I put those? Development or documents. Yeah, quiz app project. I'll make a new folder called images. Inside images, I'll add this logo. Okay, so let me add image on the top. Image source will be quiz app project, images, JavaScript logo, and an alternative tag will be JavaScript logo. Capital. So let's add some more things like um, 10 questions will be there. 10 questions, and let me add and person sign. SP MB SP 1 point each. Okay, then we need to start our quiz, right? Let me give this a separate class so that we can apply styling over it also. Quiz info. Let me name quiz info. Let me add a button now. We'll add a button which we'll call start quiz. And we also need to give ID and class to this button because that's how we are going to call this button in the JavaScript. So let's give this class as btn and with an ID called start start btn. All right, let's see how this is coming together. All right, you see. Okay, so our first screen is done. The page one. Now we need to screen for question screen, right? We'll do we do screen 2. It will be question screen. Again, we'll make a div name screen. We'll give it an ID of question. Screen. And again, we'll add a, okay, I'll added a class here, right? We'll add a card here. We'll add a div card here. So how have you seen a quiz? Like whenever we come through a quiz, first ever we get inside questions, the options, and then we can click on next, and you see a progress bar is running over that 1 2 3, or a bar type, like it fill outs with each and every question. We'll add that also. Okay, we'll add a progress bar there. We'll add a div called progress bar, and inside the progress bar there's a color, right? So div dot progress, we'll call it progress fill. And when, so it will be interactive, right? If something is interactive inside the HTML, we need to give it an ID. So again, I'll give it the same ID like the class progress fill, and then I'll keep it empty for now. I'll add CSS later on. Let's keep it empty. And then we have another thing called paragraph for the questions. So these will be interactive, but for now we'll add it question 1 of 10. So as it is interactive, we need to give it a class, uh, question count. Let me give an ID also that we need to fetch, get it to JavaScript. So we'll give it a name, same question count, and um, then we have questions, right? We have question. Let me increase the size of the question call, and will this will be coming through the JavaScript. So let for now we'll write questions. Question goes here, and as it is interactive again, we need to give it a class. Question text, and ID same question text. And now after question we have MCQs. So we'll put the MCQs inside a box, and we'll name the box as options. Options, and let's keep it empty for now. We'll give it a ID also, like this is an option container, right? So option container. If we inside this, we know that inside this container our options will be coming, and the options will be coming from where? JavaScript. Again, we'll give it a button here so that we'll move to next. Next question. As this is interactive, we'll add a class, button, and ID, next button. Okay, I hope it's clear till now. Now the next screen, screen 3, will be the final screen, which will be result screen. Result screen. Mm, All again, we need to give a card here, but before card, we want to give it a screen. We have given a screen here, screen, and ID will be result screen. Wait. Then div dot card inside. Let's we should add images. Okay, we will add images later. Let's add emojis for now. Div dot emoji. Or like let's give it a result emoji. More We need to define IDs as per their usage only, right? And we'll give it an ID also. Result emoji. It will change whenever we up according to our result. Okay, if it's coming below 10 or coming below 2, it will give something else. Then let me add some emoji. Let's add this emoji. Okay. Then we have our h1 tag, which will be our title, and it will give us, for now it's giving us well done, but it will change with our results. So this will be interactive. We'll give it a class named result title. ID will be result title. Let's add a message also. Great. And we'll make it interactive also. Class will be result message, and ID will be result message. All right. Then again, we can add a button here to try again. We'll add a try again button here. Try again. We'll give it a class button. We'll get an ID in restart button. Let's see how it's coming together. All right. Okay. Till this part, we have our first screen. The second screen is this. The third screen will be this. But you know, initially we want this screen only, right? We don't want these screens to be visible, and we'll manipulate this by using their IDs or classes. I told you classes, right? So for the second screen, we'll add a class named hidden, and here also we'll name hidden. They will be hidden initially, and we'll add this with our CSS. Okay, so let's start with the CSS part. We'll add a class named style.css, and we need to connect it also. So we'll do style link link well style sheet style.css. Okay, so let's test it out if it's working. Let me add a universal that margin 0, padding to 0, and box sizing to be border box. It's working. See, all those elements have gone. So next we'll add something on the body. So let's give it a font family to be opens is not there. We'll add, let's see, let's take Arial. Okay, simple. Background color, let's take some dark color. So let's see 1 2 1 2 1 2 if it's coming something, or let's see. Uh, let's give this color as a background. Okay. Oh no, not looking good. All right, let's give this whatever we want to do, whatever we want to give. So there's a property called minimum height. Minimum height means the page will not scroll between this. So we call it minimum vertical height. So maximum vertical height is 100. So we'll give it a maximum vertical height, which will be this much of space. VH property is very useful when you're working with Bootstrap. Also, you will know how many what which height or what is the height of a sim what element you will be taking on. So that's why I so display will go flex. Okay, and how we'll center this? Align item center, justify content center. It's coming. You can see it is in the center now. And let's do one thing. Let's add some padding between them. We'll add 20 pixels of padding. All right. So let's work on screens now. Let's work on screens. Let me add a comment so that you will know whatever we are working on. Screen. What's supposed to be? Yeah. So the ID for screen is all the screen will share the same ID. The size will remain the same. Only the hidden part will be changed. Hidden part will be changed as per the domains, right? So for now, we'll write dot screen ID will be width. We can give it a width 100% of width. Width 100%, and let's give the maximum width will be 500 px. So see, now we need to hide these screens and we'll work on each screen one by one. Okay. So these two screens share an ID called hidden. So we'll use hidden. Display will be none. Now see, these are gone. Firstly, we'll work on it, then we'll display it hidden, and yeah, we'll work. So let's work. Next, what is next? After the screen, there's a card, right? We have a card here. So we write a card. We'll give it a background color. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it white. You can do it according to you. And we'll give it a border radius of, let's see, small border radius of 16 px. Okay. We'll make everything centered. So let's give a padding of like let's give a padding of 40 from top and 30 from sides. You see. So text align, we want everything to be centered. So text align center. And let's give a box shadow to it. Let's give it a box shadow. Box shadow. Box shadow from top. We don't want top and bottom. Let's don't want it from top and bottom. We'll just give it 20 px from here, from bottom, and 60 px from here. We'll add a color here, GBA to be 0, 0, and we'll define its transparency to be 0.4. Okay, so it's here, but you can't see it because it's somewhat light. When we change the color of our, you will be able to see, right? Color this, we'll make it this color. Okay, we'll make this color. All right, we'll keep this color. So after the card, we have image, right? We haven't given any ID to it. Let's give an ID to it, sorry, class to it. Say let some banner image. Sometimes whenever we call, these are some few Image names that you are going to use it again and again. If someone told you what is a banner image, you can use the first image of the screen, not banner image. I hope I give the same name. Yeah, let's give it a name. We'll keep its width to 100%. How much? No, let's keep it to 100 px. Okay, 100 px width. Max height will give it, won't change to the screens. Let's give it 80 px. No, let's give it 100 px only. 100 px. Object with cover border radius. Let's give it a border radius also. Or let's not give it a border radius. We'll add a margin bottom so that it will be distinct from other elements. Margin bottom of 20 px. Oh, wait. It's looking good now. So next we have h1 tag. We have give it a font size. It else seems good. Color, let's give it a color with, let's see how this one look. 1A, 1A, 1A. Okay. So let's give a margin bottom. 10 pixels is fine. Yes, yeah. So next one is word. Next one is let's give it h2 tag then. Avoid we don't want paragraph here. Let's give it h2. So again h2, we'll give it font size of 20 pixels. Color will be same as that of the 1A. We need to maintain a constant color. So line height is a small text, so we'll give it line height 1.6 is okay. Margin bottom, let's keep 20 pixels of margin bottom. Then we will do one thing. We'll do text line center is okay. Yeah, keep it like this only. After that, we have a paragraph. Yeah, we have a, we're given S2 here also. Let's change the paragraph. We have paragraph named quiz info. So let's give it a color to the text. How about we give hash 4f 4f 4f. It won't work. White, we don't want white. Say let's change it to 4f 4 4 4 4 4. This is the thing we are editing. So let's give it a font weight to it. Let's make it somewhat bolder. So we'll make it bold and we'll add a margin bottom to it. Margin bottom 20 pixel is okay. So let's work on buttons now. So button, we gave it ID, I remember, but btn. Display will be inline block as much as space. We just want it the space of the content. Give it a background color. Let's give it Give it any background color you want. I'll give it this color only. Okay. Then the text color inside the color will be FFF. White color will give a, we don't want any border to be there inside the button. We'll give border none. We'll give some padding. Let's give 14 pixel from up, 36 pixel from sides. Yeah, it's looking good now. And in the font size to 18 pixels or 16 pixels is okay, I guess. Yeah, 16 pixels. We'll make it some bold. Font weight to be bold. Then let's give it a cursor. We'll give it a cursor pointer so that we know we're clicking on it. We'll give some margin over it. Let's give some margin over it. Margin top to be 20 pixels so that it will be distinguished. So let's change some hover. We add some hover color effect. So dot btn, we'll add some hover background color to be, we'll use this color and then we'll switch to some darker shade. From here only we'll slightly make it dark. Okay, you see it's making dark, but we need to add some translation here so that it will be more smooth. Transition, what happened? Okay, I forgot that. Transition into background color 0.3 second of ease. Okay, it's looking good, I guess. So let's move to next screen. Okay, so what are we going to do for the time being? Let's add hidden here and we'll remove hidden from here. Okay, so our next screen is here. So you can see the card is already here. What we want is a first thing is card is done, then we need to do work on progress bar. So let's work on progress bar, right? So let's work on progress bar. We have a next class progress. What is the name of the class? Progress slash hyphen bar. Progress bar. Let's give it some width. Width would be 100% until the parent class. So parent will be the card. So the width will be 100%. We'll give some height so that we know that something is here. We'll give some height, or let's give some height of 5 pixels. Okay, and we'll give a background color for let's say for now we'll give E5, E7, EE, but it will be this color. So you see this is the color here. All right, and we need to stick it to top, right? So push. We'll give some border radius also. 5 pixels is okay. 3 pixels. And we need to give some margin from the bottom margin. Bottom will be 20 pixel. Overflow, we don't want it to overflow outside or inside our card, so we'll give it a overflow hidden. See how it's coming together now. Okay. Let's inside it we have a progress fill. So progress fill. it will be height will be full as much as the progress bar. Okay, height will be full. Background color will give it a background color of same as the button, and let's give a border radius same as the our parent will be 3 pixels. Then we'll add some width to it. Width will be 10%. For initially 10, 10, 10, 10, it will fill till the 100%. You see, the 10 questions are here. It will change according to the questions. So tran transition will add for hovering effect. Transition we add for the width. Okay, we need to change width. Transition will be added for each width. Transition will be added for each width for 0.3 second it will take, and then ease. So see here, this is how our progress bar looks, right? So let's work on next thing. Next thing is the question counter. So let's work on it. Dot question count. Color. Let's give it color 8. Our font size to be 14 pixels, and we'll give a margin bottom now 15 pixels. Text line left. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll do this. You see, question 1 to 10 are appearing here. Okay, we shouldn't. We don't need this now. Let's do one thing. Now what we have question text. Question text is question text dot question text. We'll give it question text is S2, right? We already gave something to S2. Yeah, S2 is already done. We don't need to do it again. So next one is the options, but the options are not here yet. So when we'll be adding the options, we'll add the CSS for it then only. So I guess this card is finished till now. We'll do one thing. We'll move to next screen. We'll make this screen hidden. We'll keep this thing here. Okay, great, well done. Let's increase the size of emoji first. Okay. Result emoji. Let's font size. We'll increase the font size to be bigger, 66 pixels. Yeah. Margin bottom will add 20 pixels. We'll add. Next one is the result title here, but it's also H1, so H1 is done. So we have result message here. Yes, I'm missing. Yeah, result message here. Dot result message will be this font size. Let's make it 16 pixels. Let's change this color to some other, some say this thing finds margin bottom will be 4 pixels. Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry. Button is okay. I just forgot to add the score, right? I haven't added the score here. Let me add score also. Use scored 10 out. Let me give it a class because it will be changing. Result will add result score. ID will be result score. Let's add some CSS to it also. The result score is there. So we'll add result score. Let's add some font size to it. Uh, let's give it 24 pixels. Okay. Weight's good. We'll make it bold. Font weight bold. Let's give some margin to it. Margin bottom pixels. All right. I hope we have cleared till now. We are left with JavaScript part. It'll take just 15 minutes. If you want, I can add now, or we can start tomorrow with the JavaScript. It's 9. It's up to you if you want. I can continue, else we can do it tomorrow. Do let me know in the chat. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow then. For the first 15 minutes, we'll add the JavaScript. Then we'll continue with the Git part, and I'll show you how we can upload this and some basics, sorry, some advanced concept. They are not many, but those concepts are important to know if you are going to do React. So we'll do that. Until then, you can complete your these parts, and we'll continue tomorrow. I'll send the file. All right. Good night, everyone.